Yo, what is going on, guys? Winner Kills here, and welcome to a brand new Locals feature match. Here we are in round 1 of July 15th Locals. We've got Mannadium versus the Mikanko deck, so let's go ahead and hop right into this. We're going to see the Mannadium deck win die roll and go first, and they're going to start with Lubellion, discard to add Magnamut, normal summon Fearless, and then activate Obsession to go ahead and destroy it, and then add a copy of the Peaceful Planet Calarium, and if they already have it, they could add a Mannadium spell or trap. But of course they do not have it already, so they'll be able just to search out for Planet. And then when Fearless is destroyed, it'll be able to summon another copy of itself and then make it so all synchros, I believe, gain 500 during the battle phase. And the other level 2, I believe, makes so they can gain... its level increases by 2 when they summon the Meek. So yeah, they'll go ahead and add Planet. Then they're going to activate Planet to attempt to search Mannadium Monster or Visa Starfrost. That is going to go ahead and get hit with Ash. So they're basically trying to put them on, already have Visa Starfrost, which they already do. They also have Assault Synchron in hand already, and they're just going to go ahead and activate Visa Starfrost to destroy the Mannadium Fearless, and that can go ahead and summon another copy of Fearless, and they'll also get Field Spell's other effect to go ahead and special summon back a copy of a tuner that was destroyed amongst those destroyed monsters. And so they'll get to summon back the Meek, and then they get another Meek, or Fearless rather, sorry, Fearless, another Fearless from the deck since the one that was destroyed by Visas. And those are all tuners, I believe. Yeah, Fearless is a tuner, no, Visa Starfrost is a tuner as well. So they're going to link the Visa Starfrost into Lightheart. Lightheart will go ahead and add Reichphobia. Reichphobia will add the Reichheart. Reichheart? Yeah, Reichheart. Yeah. Reichphobia, Reichheart, yes. Then they'll be able to special summon, search out Scareclaw Arrival, which is basically just monster born for Scareclaws, and since there are 3 or more monsters in defense position on the field, they get to draw a card at resolution, kind of similar to Engage. And then they're going to synchro into Tri-Edge Master, which is basically, as my friend put it, Stardust Charge Warrior with more effects, and it is a light. Yeah, so then they're going to go ahead and use the Assault Synchron special summon of the field by paying 700. And that'll allow them to Synchro Climb here. And I would like to actually pull up Tri-Edge Master. I know Tri-Edge Levy. I used to play it back in the day in Burning Abyss. It's cool to see a kind of a new retrain on the Tri-Edge monster. And now they're going to Synchro for the Omega, and then they're going to special summon that Magnamut here by banishing the Reichheart, and then use the Magnamut effect on summon, so they have another level 8 Synchro play available to them here. And I imagine they'll probably go for the Accel Stardust, and that will bring back the Assault Synchron. It is a level 2, and they're going to go ahead and use the effect of Accel Synchron here to tribute it off to summon the Stardust Dragon, and then they get to Synchro immediately afterwards, and then I believe it is unaffected by card effects for the rest of the turn. So they'll get Bestial Dispotter out onto the board, which ends up being a really, really good card here. They could just do like a cheeky double, hand rip here if they wanted to. Use Omega, rip a card, and then, Dispotter, bring it back, and then use the Omega again. But they're going to go ahead and link into a Cross Sheep. And then one of my favorite things about the deck is the play that they can do right here is this little... sort of like Contact Fusion from Grave, just by banishing like Visas, another monster with 1500 attack, 2100 defense. They use the Arrival though to bring back the Visas, and then I believe they use the Dispotter to bring back the Reichheart, so that gets them into Baron. And then they Contact Fusion again to that Vicious Astrolaud, and that is going to trigger Cross Sheep here to bring back a level 4 or lower monster, and since they also have a Synchro pointing to it, it makes all Synchros, I believe, gain 700 attack. I can't remember if it's permanent off the top of my head, but if it is permanent, that's pretty strong. I believe it is permanent. And then they're going to be able to Synchro 10 with the Vicious Astrolaud, which is a really awesome name for a monster. And then they're going to Synchro into the Changing. And they get that end phase search of a Bestial as well, so they have a free way to trigger Changing pretty much whenever they want. They also could technically do it with Omega, being a way to trigger Changing's effect. And they also have Dispotter, which is a pop by returning one of their banished, and a negate by returning one of the opponent's banished. And you could imagine they'll probably get a monster banished at some point during this turn because of the Changing or because of the Omega. Really good synergy here. There's really, really sick end board. Lots of synchros. And the Mikanko Duelist is going to lead with the Nadir Servant. And it looks like it's going to get negated by Baron Chain Omega to rip the Mikanko Ritual out of the hand, which is the Ohime the Manifested Mikanko, which I believe is a Searcher. Yeah, reveal it in the hand and then add another Mikanko. Add a Mikanko card from your deck to your hand except Ohime, and then discard one card. And then you can go ahead and use Triple Tactics Talent. That is going to force out the Mannadium Reframing, which is basically, I believe, just an Omni-Negate if you have a Synchro up. And they're going to go ahead and normal summon the Hare, the Sword Mikanko, and attempt to equip it with Mikanko Dance. Equip monster cannot be destroyed by card effects. You can only use each of the following effects: Mikanko Dance, Mayawashidori once per turn. And I believe, yeah, the other one, if this card is equipped with an equipped card, it cannot be destroyed. If a card becomes equipped to this card, you can add a Mikanko equip spell from your deck to your hand. So they're going to go ahead and search, I believe, for the Arabesque. I could be wrong. A lot of the Mikanko cards look kind of similar, I'm not going to lie. But I think it is Arabesque. But they are going to use the Druid Worm there to trigger the Changing, as they banish Magnamut from the graveyard, to go ahead and banish the Hare and banish Nadir Servant from the graveyard. And then they're going to use Arabesque. Says the equipped monster cannot be destroyed by card effects. During your main phase, you can special one Mikanko monster from your hand or deck with a different original name than the equipped monster. If you do equip it with this card, then return the monster that was previously equipped with this card to the hand. So they equip it to Changing and allows them to go ahead and special summon the Huli, the Jewel Mikanko, from the deck, and then change the equipped target to Huli, bouncing back the Changing, which is pretty important since Changing is not going to be able to be destroyed by card effects via its own protection effect, so they will clear that. So that's kind of neat, I guess. And if it's the all mechanicals, I think say something along the lines: if this card is not equipped with an equipped card, you take no damage from battles involving this card. And if it is equipped with an equipped card, it cannot be destroyed by battle, and your opponent takes any battle damage you would have taken from battles involving this card. So they're basically, it kind of reminds me of Daigusto in a sense, but they're going to swing in with the Huli into the Dispotter, which does have that 700 attack boost, putting it up to 42, so they will take 42 to the face there. You know, kind of cute, right, I guess. Doesn't really matter too much here because I think this is probably just going to be game on board. They just need a way to get the monster off board. I know the Mayawashidori is really good because I know one of them says that like makes it so they can't be targeted, which is like insane, like making it so all the mechanical cards cannot be targeted. So you need like non-targeting removal. I remember when I was testing for a regional, like Mikanko was a deck that I ran into a couple times in the ladder. And I was like, damn, this deck's really frustrating to play against. And then I was like, oh, wait. You know, Scareclaw Kashira is kind of insane against that deck. So, yeah, Scarecash plus Fenrir kind of goes insane because it do not be targeting. So, yeah, they're going to normal summon the Room Heart. That is going to go ahead and search for a copy of Meek. And Room Heart is not a tuner. But I think they could make Chaos Angel here, if I understand Chaos Angel correctly. But I can't remember which Mikanko card it is now that makes it so things cannot be targeted. I know it was the green one. I just remember it being the green one. And also, Omega is back now. And now they're going to go ahead and just link off the Omega, the Druid Worm, and the Cross Sheep into Appaloosa. And then special summon out the Meek since they control a monster with 1500 attack or 2100 defense. And then they can go ahead and synchro here. Synchro 10. I believe they're synchroning off with ESL. And they're going to go into another Changing. And Changing, I don't believe, targets, which is pretty strong. And they do have a Magnamut in hand, which is pretty good. So they're going to go ahead and banish the Rykart. And then they're going to go ahead and fusion for Vicious Astrolaud, and then use the Changing to banish the Hooli and another monster from grave, and that is just more than enough for a game right there. So the Mannadium deck taking game 1 rather easily. So let's go ahead and take a look at game 2, where we are going to see the Mikanko duelists decide to make the Mannadium deck go first, which is kind of crazy. I don't know if you just saw what my mans did to you turn 1 last game. Probably going to be the same, and you even ashed him too, so like it didn't really do anything. So maybe you want to go first, because it can set up a pretty annoying like turn 1 end board if they open like all the right cards. I mean, I played against Mikanko very, very few times, but if they get the non-targeting stuff set up, it's like it's kind of real for, you know, it's kind of real for what it is. But they're gonna open up the little combo here with the Room Heart and Meek, popping the Meek, summoning another Meek, and then Field Spell bringing out the one that was destroyed, and the Room Heart's gonna search out the Obsession, or Abscission, I think that's what it's called. Yeah, Abscission. And the Room Heart says, during the main phase of this card's in your hand, quick effect, you can target a Mannadium monster you control, or one monster with 1500 attack, 21 defense. Destroy if you special on this card. It's very similar to Visa Starfrost in the effect there. And then they go ahead and Synchro 8, since the one Meek's level is increased by 2 because of the Meek effect. So they can Synchro 8 here into the Acel Stardust, and that will bring back the Meek Engrave, which is now at level 2 now that is in the graveyard. Then they can Synchro into a Synchro 10. And we'll see them go into a Baroni de Fleur. They have Duster and Cosmic in hand, so they were definitely siding to go second. Duster would have gone crazy style, for sure. And I mean, even the fact that they're going first right now, the Duster is still going to be insane for any board that they might put up next turn. And they're going to go ahead and search out the Reframing off of the Obsession, since they already have Peaceful Planet on board. Kind of huge, since that is basically just an Omni Negate. Yeah, when a spell, trap, card, or monster effect is activated while you control a Synchro monster, negate the activation. Then if you have Visa Starfrost or a monster with 15 or 21 attack on your field or in your graveyard, you can destroy the negated card. And then just have a graveyard recycling effect for Mannadium monsters. And then we're going to see them Synchro into an Omega. So they're going to end on Baron, Omega, Cosmic, and Reframing. A pretty decent end board here. And I see an Ash in hand for our Mikanko player. I just wondered if we're holding that for the next game. There's no way we just don't Ash. There's no way we just don't Ash them. That's crazy. Anyway, standby phase, Omega is going to return Obsession to the graveyard. So they have that set up for its in hand, like the graveyard effect to summon one from hand. And they're going to activate Preparation Rites here in main phase 1. And they're going to go ahead and add the Ohime. And they're going to chain Omega on Resolution. And they're going to go ahead and attempt to rip one from the hand. They're going to chain Imperm targeting Baron. And they're going to roll to rip a card. It hits an Interrupted Kaiju Slumber, which is pretty strong. I mean, if that's Ash in their hand, I think they have 2 Ash in hand. There's just no way you don't just Ash something. Like, you probably just Ash something with that hand. Like, there's no way. Like, that's crazy. Yeah, I mean, you gotta use an Ash. Like, you just can't not use one of them. I mean, I guess maybe you're playing around talents. But, like, at that point, if you're worried about talents, then why are you playing Ash anyways? I don't know. It's kind of weird. So they don't hit the Ohime out of hand. They attempt to use the Great Mikanko Ceremony, which is like a quick play ritual. That's going to get negated by Reframing. And not sure what effect they're using now. Oh, I think they might be using the Great... Yeah, you can banish this card from the graveyard, send a Mikanko card from your deck to the graveyard. So they're going to use the Great Ceremony, banish it to send the Mayawashidori to the graveyard, and then still in end phase, they're also going to use the effect of Reframing to recycle some cards back to the deck, and that'll be it for their turn. They'll draw, standby phase, Omega comes back, and then they get the Interrupted Slumber back to their hand. And Baron has not used its negate yet, which is pretty good to know. I mean, when they imperm Baron, there's really no reason to negate imperm. But now they're gonna Ash. Or no, they set the Ash. I was gonna say, wait, did they just Ash something now? No, they just set Ash after Baron popped it. Okay. So Baron pops the set Ash and then use Druid Worm, banish the Room Heart to summon it, and that is just game on board right there. 3k, 25, and 28. That's definitely enough for game by a couple hundred. So the Mannadium deck will take it 2-0 there over Mikanko. Some questionable plays, but it is what it is. And last but not least, a big shout out goes to our current Divine level channel members who are Misfit, HCH, Cyber, Cadillacs, Pony Stark, and Green. Thank you to you guys for your extremely generous and very kind support of the channel. And of course, a thank you to all of our channel members as well. And yeah, it's always Winter Kill signing out. We'll see you guys in the next one.